Now I guess it is my time to close.
Your turn to face the
Your
baleful
turn.
rancor.
And I will end with a segment called 12 Real Ghost Stories You Won't Want to Listen to at Night by Lauren Kahn.
Oh, geez.
And in this article, Reader Digest goes to Reddit
Ooh,
and gets the
I love-
spookiest tales they can find, and they
Honestly,
fucking crushed it on us all.
Yeah, few things intrigue me like a Reddit thread full of like true ghost stories. I'm like, fuck yeah, absolutely. I have no reason to believe you and nothing to lose. Let's go.
Like I said, this was curated by Lauren Kahn. Thank you for doing the work. Phenomenal job, Reader's Digest, taking the best of the world and condensing it for the modern reader to digest.
Mm-hmm.
The first story I'm going to read is called Little Hands.
Nope.
I already hate it. Yep.
I've never lived in a haunted house, but my mother did as a teen, writes Reddit user patented space hook 69420.
Nice handle.
It just patented space hook.
Okay.
Recounting a true event. Other houses on her street had
Not as good,
strange
honestly.
things.
Feels like a missed opportunity now.
It really did. From now on, all joke names. Sorry. Other houses on her street had strange things going on too. A few homes away from her lived a family. One night, her daughter went to bed with a bad headache. The next day, she was dead. Passed away from an aneurysm.
Oh, yikes.
She had one of those dead aches.
Fucking hell. You gotta tweet that.
Aneurysm? I think you mean deadache.
Oh, you mean a dead ache?
After her funeral, the family went away to get their minds off the tragedy, and the father asked my uncle, my mom's brother, to check on their pets. My mom and dad, who were dating at the time, went with them. My
Ew.
mother heard.
Your mom and dad are
Gross.
dating?
I thought they were just friends.
Well, they're, out there.
My mother had heard there was a grand piano, and she always wanted to play it. My dad was studying to be a veterinarian. After entering the house, my uncle and my father headed to the basement to see the animals, and my mother went to the piano on the ground floor. She was playing it when she felt something brush her ankles, and she thought it must have been a cat that left the basement and walked past her. She kept playing and felt it again. She
Can I
looked
just
under
throw
the
this out there real
piano.
quick? Even if your father is studying to be a vet, why does he have a basement full of animals?
to practice on.
No, I read that wrong. The father of the storyteller is the vet. This is just a random man with a basement full of animals.
Oh, well, that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's reassuring.
So something's brushing past the mom on the piano.
Mm-hmm.
She looks under the piano and sees nothing. When she started again, she felt hands clasp her legs tightly. She dashes to the basement door, calls my uncle and father, and waits for them. Back outside, my uncle could tell my mom was rattled and asked what was wrong. She told him what happened, and he turned white. He told her the daughter who had died used to play a game with her father. When he played the piano, she'd crawl underneath and grab his ankles.
Yikes.
This is not a game you play.
Listen, it was Victorian times. What else? What are you going to play Nintendo?
The Phantom Patient.
You play leg grab with
Phantom Patient is the next story from Reddit user Zerbo Muff Blaster.
Yep.
Hail Zerbo.
The ambulance company I used to work for had a haunted ambulance, Rig 12. A lot of EMTs had a story about it, but I never pretty much put stock in paranormal stuff. That is, until I had my own experience with
Oh,
Rig
yeah.
12.
Isn't that always the way? It's never going to happen to me, so I don't need to wear a mask to keep the ghosts out.
You never
And then
expect
it
rig
does.
12 to turn the corner. Like rig 11, maybe. Rig 13, of course. But
Can you imagine there's a rig 1 and that's where they put the good people? And as you like get more addicted to like adrenaline and shit that you have in your ambulance, you get pushed down and down until rig 12.
Rig 12.
you gotta climb that ladder.
These guys are fucking monsters.
My partner and I were working a rural community at 3 a.m. and it was pitch dark and completely quiet. We were both dozing off.
Sounds like some Rig 12 bullshit to me.
I was in the driver's seat. She was in the passenger seat. And I woke up to a muffled voice, but I thought my partner was talking. I told her I was trying to sleep and close my eyes. Oh, that gave me goosebumps. Stop it, Jordan. I hope it's Jordan.
The Noid. Avoid the Noid. Right then, Rig 12 was attacked by the Noid. On some sort of stomping device.
Mm-hmm. Seen it 1,000 times.
Again, I heard the voice, and it was a male voice saying, "Oh my God, am I dying?" Followed by a few seconds of breathing. My partner and I sat straight up, looked back at the patient compartment where it sounded like the voice came from.
Wow.
Things were completely quiet for a couple seconds. Then we heard the click of an oxygen bottle regulator and a hiss as if it was leaking. I turned on the lights and we ran out of the rig. I thought a transient might have climbed in there while we were asleep. So we opened the rear doors. No one was in there. I checked the oxygen bottles. Neither was opened. We didn't sleep much after that.
Can only imagine.
The Impish Ghost.
That shit is impish. NGL.
No, but the next story is called the
this
Impish
is the next
Ghost.
story. Boy, even impisher than that?
Oh, yes, very much so. My neighbor Diane and I had a playful poltergeist for years, and we called it Billy. Says Reddit user Arby's Alibi. I murdered my wife in the real life ghost story. I'd come home and find something I put in a weird place. Milk in a cupboard, toilet paper in the fridge, laundry detergent in the bathtub. These things
My
don't
Arby's
go together.
Inside the knife that I put inside my wife.
Diane once called to ask if Billy had been around because she couldn't find a gallon of milk. When we finally found it outside on her back steps, and sugar, darn sugar, every morning my sugar bowl was empty.
Dang, he loves it.
When I had
sugar.
When I had
eating a bowl of sugar every morning.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. All right, that's all cereals.
Yeah.
When I had enough, I would point to Diane's home and yell, "Go see Diane." Within 5 minutes, I'd get a call from her. "Thanks a lot," she'd say. He'd gone and pulled shenanigans at her place. Wow. This occurred for the entire 2 years we lived there. No one believed us. We believe you, by the way.
We believe you.
Not even our husbands. My mother thought someone was stealing from us when we were sleeping or out of the house. My sister believed something was going on, but didn't know what. I still can't explain any of it.
Pretty fucking crazy.
Right? The next story is called The Eerie Attic.
Yeah.
And it is one of the longer ones. We have, before Reddit user Diggs Dawes 6999666.
Nice.
Got down to recounting their scariest ghost stories about living in a place that was obviously teeming with honest-to-goodness members of the spiritual world. Ooh. They pointed out that the irony of ghost stories that began with the phrase, "I don't believe in ghosts, but..."
Mm-hmm.
And now here's how it begins. A few years ago, I moved into a one-room bedroom apartment in Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne,
Australia. They went on to recall, it was my first time living on my own. The apartment block he's an American living there. Don't worry about his accent. The apartment block had been built in the 1930s.
I'm here about the ghost.
I've been there for a few months. When I came back from work one day and went to the bathroom, I saw something strange. A wooden board, which covered a hole in the ceiling that led to a small attic space, laid fractured in two pieces on the ground. I examined the pieces with a magnifying glass. This board was an inch thick.
You just had a fucking, who the fuck is this?
I added the magnifying glass.
Encyclopedia
fits,
Brown
right?
over here.
Okay.
Okay.
This board was an inch thick, and it would have taken Bruce Lee to break it. I thought the landlord had sent someone to work on the attic, and it was Bruce Lee.
More like ghostly.
I was frozen stiff with fear. Someone is up there, I'm sure, I thought. His thoughts are different than his voice.
I see.
I emailed the pictures to the landlord, asking if anyone had been there, with an undertone of annoyance since she hadn't warned me. Her reply read, please call me as soon as you're able. Oh, sorry. Please call me as soon as you're able to.
Nice.
Thank you. Good save. And she explained that her
There's a lot
two
of voice
last
work
tenants,
going on, and I think we all appreciate it.
her last two tenants said the same thing happened. She promised to replace the board, and she did. A month later, I woke up around 4 a.m. My body was covered in goosebumps. I felt like something was rubbing his or her hand on me.
I felt like a goose.
Everything was silent. But then I heard the dragon sound coming from above my bed.
Dragon sounds?
It was as if someone was pulling a sack of potatoes.
How dragging sounds.
I froze, convinced someone was up there. There was no way an animal could make that sound. After 5 minutes, I worked up the courage to turn on the light, armed myself with a cricket bat, and walked up to the bathroom. That's when I saw the new board covering the hole was broken too. The dragon sound had stopped, but I heard something else. A whispering. The sound was clear and coming from the attic. It sounded like children's voices, and I could hear one sentence repeated over and over again. It's your turn.
Yikes.
It's your turn.
Yikes.
And that is that story.
And that is kind of spooky.
Boy with no eyes.
Ah!
One night when I was 10, I was woken up on my bedroom door opening, followed by someone sitting on my bed. Reddit user Comindo420 recalls of a childhood brush. The 4 is real. Brush with a very persistent ghostly apparition. I felt my leg grazed and the bed sink under a person's weight. It's just mom, I thought, and I opened my eyes. It was not mom. I found an eyeless boy. He had black, empty sockets, about my age, at the foot of my bed. Extended his hands, and in it was a little box. It was startled. I was startled, but I reached out. He pulled back, and I reached again and said, give it. First of all, brave as shit.
Yeah. I mean, this is no sockets or
You're
no eyes in the
apparently
sockets, right? It's not a black
no socket boy.
Yeah.
Then I blinked, and when I reopened my eyes, he was gone. But I could still see the imprint of where he sat on my bed.
Yikes.
Fast forward 5 years, my girlfriend came over to do homework. She was finished. She was from Canada.
She sat on my bed and I thought she was my mom, and turned out kid with no sockets.
She took a nap while she waited for her parents. Then, when they arrived, I tried waking her up. She opened her eyes suddenly, looking up at the corner where the wall met the ceiling. She pointed there and went back to sleep. I shook her again. She came to full consciousness, and I explained what she done. She looked haunted. Up on the wall, I saw, oh, this is her. Up on the wall, I saw a little boy with no eyes. He was there in a Spider-Man pose staring at me.
Yikes.
That is freaky as shit. I can only assume like fucking Into the Spider-Verse style.
Yeah, like in the corner.
Yeah.
Scary. I'm against
I freaked out. I told my story about the same kid. Fast forward another 5 years.
Yikes.
He's still with the same girlfriend. We had a 2-year-old.
Mm.
We were living at my parents'. I can't do the voice anymore. My voice is hurting. In my old room, my daughter started waking up at the same time every night, and she'd talk. After a while, I noticed she had almost the same conversation every night. I playfully asked her whom she was talking to. She said, "It's a little boy. He's nice. He's lost. He's looking for his mommy."
And his
The daughter's nightly
eyeballs.
conversations. Yeah. The daughter's nightly conversation continued until we got our own place later that year.
Scary.
His
Right?
daughter's 2?
Okay, so I'm carrying this over to next week
Yeah.
because they continue. They're all fucking scary.
Yeah, keep
But
going.
I'm
This is
going to
cool.
continue, I think, with
Yeah, give us the cliffhanger.
spookiest one I read. Where is it now? Here we go.
Take your time.
The Ghost Who Came to Play.
Yikes. What's the eye situation in this one?
I think he's got eyes.
Ah!
This true
Whose
ghost
are
story
they?
might let's go into it. This is from, where is the name? None of this matters. Here we go. Well-known psychic medium Christy Robinette. Marlene settled onto her side of the bed, and patted Jack's pillow beside her. A year had gone by, but Marlene was still adjusting to widowhood. Maybe it was crazy to think after 40 years of marriage she would ever adjust. Elmer the golden retriever seemed to understand this from the very first. That cold, moonless night when Marlene returned alone from the hospital, Elmer did something he'd never done before.
He spoke.
He jumped. He jumped onto Jack's side of the bed and lay his hand on the pillow. Jack would never be allowed it, but Marlene didn't shoo him off. Instead, she laid down beside Elmo and let the peaceful sound of his snoring lull her to sleep. The next night was the same, and night after that.
I am husband now.
The dog's just taking over.
I alpha.
You guys know that old joke. How do you stop a dog from humping your leg? You pick it up and chew him off.
God.
Over the past year, it had grown into a comforting routine, but not tonight. Tonight was the first time Elmer had left Marlene alone in the bed since Jack's passing.
Mm.
But hearing nails click on the wood floors downstairs, Marlene recognized the sound of Elmer requesting outsies. With a sigh, Marlene made her way down the stairs to the foyer. But Elmer wasn't pacing in front of the big oak door. Rather, he was dancing, wagging and wiggling and bowing. Just like he used to do. Just like he used to do when Jack would come home from work.
Oh, not like dancing in the pale moonlight, terrifying light.
No, I'm so sorry. I must have been reading this so poorly. I meant to this be a heartwarming story about a man and his dog reuniting over the afterlife.
It is. It's just my
But that's even better.
My brain is on Halloween mode.
Our imaginations went elsewhere.
Yeah.
To Marlene, it felt as if Jack had come home, and Robinette, who is known for her remarkable intuition about these things, believes that is indeed what happened. And that is 6, I believe. I lost track, actually. Well, I believe it was 5 or 6.
5 or
out
6
of the 12 real ghost stories.
Out of the 12.
You don't particularly want to listen to at night, but I suggest you do.
Yeah, listen to it at night.
Dude, those
challenge the
scary.
void.
Some of those, that last one, I love the heartwarming ghost stories about dogs and
challenge
stuff.
the void. That's what Arne Johnson did.
Yeah, despite us telling you to punch and suspect the void,
you can
don't
suspect
actually do
it, but be cautious. Respect the void.
And that's my segment.
Well,
6
I think
out of the 12 ghost stories you won't want to listen to at night, curated by Lauren Kahn.
That does it for another episode of Werewolf Radar. And the next time that we return, another Halloween will have come and gone. So hopefully,
although we will be recording on that Halloween.
We'll be recording on Halloween, and Jordan suggested maybe we play some video game on Halloween.
Tons of fun. I'm super into
Might be
it.
a good time.
Phasmophobia on Halloween. It's a Sunday. We'll have recorded. I'll edit the podcast, then just Phasmophobia until I literally pee my pants. I'm that scared of the game. They added new ghost and terrifying maps.
Terrifying map ghosts.
All 5 minutes before it becomes too terrifying.
Hell yeah. So keep an eye on
just
our
have to
Twitch
beat it
channel.
all the time in 5 minutes.
That's twitch.tv/werewolf_radar. We usually play on Mondays, but maybe we'll be playing on Halloween too. So who knows? Who knows, you freaks? Let's get in there and let's get scared.
I thought you're let's get serious.
Let's get dangerous.
Dangerous is what I thought.
There it is.
Yeah.
All
I
dark.
don't know the lyrics to words. All I know is dark wing dork.
When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck. Look out. Better watch out,
And
you
that-
bad dudes.
That's your paranormal preparedness for this week. Call Darkwing Duck.
Hell yeah. Always call Darkwing Duck. Let him know what's up. He can help with the scenario. And if you're lucky, Launchpad McQuack will come along. Thanks to Chuck from Snappy Little Numbers for our intro and outro song. Thank you to our Patreon subscribers for your continued support of this crazy thing that we do. We love you guys. Stay safe. Send us pictures of your Halloween costumes. Please interact with us on Twitter. We love you out there. Send us stories. And until next time, as always, punch the sky, Spaceman Joe.